Well, the Raiders boys lacrosse would kick off this all-new episode, looking to get back on track after a tough double overtime loss to Walpole on Tuesday. But Thursday at Sprague would be a new opponent, the Weymouth Wildcats. And the Raiders would be more than ready to kick their offense into high gear. First quarter is huge as Wellesley sets the tone, and Weymouth can do absolutely nothing to stop it. Actually, they just can't stop junior captain Grant Casikis. Casikis would score a hattie only 2 minutes and 8 seconds the first quarter alone. It would then be 6-0 off this Michael Bohm score before Wildcats would even get their first offensive possession of the game. So the Raiders close out this high-scoring opening quarter, leading 8-0, 4 goals already by Grant Casikis. So the second opens up right where Wellesley left off, with the ball finding the back of the net as Wildcats change out goalies, but get the same results. Another Raiders score, the fifth by Grant Casikis, 9-0. Well, during the winter, we saw TJ Maley and Carter Huff scoring on the ice at will, and they will be back at it again here, connecting on the turf, as Carter Huff takes the pass from Maley behind the cage. Looking to pass it instead, takes it himself, and Huff buries the 10th Wellesley goal of the game. And in this second, Wildcats are facing down a double-digit lead until finally Weymouth connects here as Josh Holmes goes sidearm with the score. But down 10-1, and that goal ain't making a dent to this Raider lead. And it's just that kind of day where everything just keeps going Wellesley's way, as Grant Casikis' sixth score here is initially stopped, but slowly the ball crosses the goal line, and double-digit lead is back yet again for Wellesley. And so going into halftime with an 11-1 lead, you can't deny this game is already over after 2 quarters are played. Wellesley has that advantage to just play the rest of the way on cruise control and still are able to add 2 more goals, including an empty netter here by TJ Maley. But this game could not end fast enough for Weymouth, as Wellesley just completely dominated the opening faceoff. And this game would just be a feel-good victory for Wellesley after back-to-back losses in overtime. 6 goals by Grant Casikis and 2 each by Griffin Morgan and Michael Bohms help Raiders run away with this one. And the final score, Raiders 13, Wildcats 1. After a late rally fell just short on Friday in the bottom 7th to Dedham, Raiders baseball would have to quickly forget about that tough Bay State Conference loss, as they would have back-to-back games here at home. So on this early Saturday game, Wellesley would be facing an unfamiliar non-league team in the Winchester Sachems. Bottom first, Raiders have a runner on third, but 2 out. Max Guifrey at the plate when Kirk Aharanian with the pitch gets past the Sachems catcher. And it's a race to home plate for Jackson Posnick, and Posnick slides in ahead of the high throw. Wellesley scores this key run on a pass ball. That run would definitely be clutch as we go deeper into this game. Brad Marchetti is just lights out on the mound. In the second and third innings, back-to-back, striking out the side. Just absolutely dominating as Marchetti gets 3 straight 1-2-3 innings, frustrating the Sachems all game. And Marchetti is extremely tough to beat on the mound. Here, helping out his own cause top of the 5th, Brad Marchetti makes a spectacular diving catch in front of Winchester's dugout to get the 3rd out of the inning. Marchetti would retire an outstanding 13 batters in a row before Sam Casey would finally end that streak in the top of the 6th. Kirk Aharanian has a solid day on the mound as well, but scoring only 1 run really wouldn't matter on this day, as Brad Marchetti just owned this game. So here in the 7th, looking to finish off a fantastic start with a complete game shutout, now has 2 out. Teddy Falkenberg slides in safely but pops off the bag for just a split second. Jackson Posnick's tag is there, and that is the end to a truly outstanding game. This game would be owned by 2 pitchers, but Brad Marchetti outshined everyone on this Saturday, striking out 10 Sachems on his way to a dominating, complete game shutout. Raiders definitely needed that 1-0 win, as Wellesley now goes to 2-2 on the season. But with their official home opener versus Needham postponed, girls lacrosse would instead face off for the first time here at Sprague on Tuesday. Coming in at 1-1, it was no fluke the success these Raiders had last year, winning their first 14 games in a row before ultimately losing as the number 4 seed in the semifinals. Trying to replace the void left by so many talented seniors from last season will definitely be challenging. But the core group that remains will look to captains Sophie Vernon, Kylie Noonan, sophomore standout Caitlin Tchaikovsky, and Carly Boyle in net, all who are more than ready to lead. An obstacle in their way here on Tuesday would be their opponent Notre Dame Academy, the number 3 seed in Division I last year. Coming in with a loaded offense and stifling defense, the Cougars would jump out with the lead early, 3-0. But Raiders dig deep and respond as Sophie Vernon feeds it to the cutter Grace Ahonen, and then Vernon herself takes care of another score on the restart. Wellesley's deficit is 4-2. Caitlin Tchaikovsky then would earn a trip to the free position, and that's her first goal of the game, closing the Wellesley deficit to only 1, forcing Notre Dame Academy to take a timeout here on the field, as the Raiders grinded out those last 2 scores to make it 4-3 Cougars. But coming out of that break behind Madison Ahern and Charlotte Allard, Notre Dame Academy closes out this opening half with 4 goals unanswered of their own and take an 8-3 advantage into the second. Opening minutes of this final half, now down 10-3, Sophie Vernon makes a great play here as she fights her way around the crease and buries it while falling down. And that's Vernon's second and the 4th team goal, as it's 10-4 Cougars. But Notre Dame Academy's offensive attack is just too much to stop. And though Carly Boyle would make some great point-blank saves here to help minimize somewhat the damage, the Cougars would run away with this one as they got the calls. And the duo of Allard and Ahern just would not be denied. This game can definitely be something Wellesley can learn from, but this loss also needs to be pushed aside and focus on the next game. So looking to regroup and dominate Cohasset on Friday on the road, the Raiders will be back here at Sprague next Tuesday in a Bay State Conference battle with Milton. But for now, Wellesley goes to 1-2 as the final here goes down Notre Dame Academy 16, Wellesley 4. Well, girls lacrosse would be the only home game here on school vacation, but don't worry, there'll be plenty of games starting up next week. So stay right here with Wellesley Media as we keep you covered with all Raiders sports. Check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, right here on Comcast 9 and Verizon 39.